I asked ChatGPT, hypothetically, how could the governments of the world conceal a flat Earth and spread globe propaganda without other researchers, scientists, experts, and the public finding out? GPT says layered control, combining psychology, infrastructure, and selective access to information. 1. Control of exploration physical access. The Antarctic Treaty 2.0. In your story, a small coalition of neutral governments forms an ironclad treaty after World War II to protect Antarctica for scientific research only, but in reality, it's to keep anyone from reaching the ice wall. Private attempts to reach deep Antarctica are prohibited under environmental or safety laws. Any ships or planes that veer too far off designated routes are intercepted for their own safety. Satellite/flight path manipulation. All civilians and commercial flights are routed along carefully chosen Great Circle routes, avoiding polar regions. GPS is run by the same cabal, so it fakes distance and coordinates to reinforce a globe illusion. Control of knowledge and science. Centralized funding. Governments and mega foundations fund almost all high-level research. Independent scientists who want grants or access to data must go through approved institutions. Compartmentalization. People working on rockets, weather balloons, imaging satellites, etc. only ever see their small piece. Only a few need-to-know insiders understand the true model. Everyone else is doing honest work within a false framework. Education and curriculum. From childhood, textbooks and globe models are standard. Space becomes an international identity point. Questioning the globe is equated with questioning science itself. A few key space agencies produce convincing CGI, launch footage, and astronaut testimonies. Most employees think they're working on real missions. Only top-level media editors and select engineers know the footage is simulated. 3. Media and psychological control. Movies, documentaries, and TV series constantly reinforce globe imagery and space exploration, making it part of culture. Mockery and stigma. People who question the globe are framed as conspiracy theorists, mentally unstable, or cultish. This creates self-censorship. Scientists don't want to be ridiculed. Controlled dissent. Your power players could even sponsor small, sloppy flat Earth groups themselves, making them look ridiculous to discredit the concept preemptively. Number 4, technology sleight of hand. Most satellites could really be high-altitude balloons and ground-based networks simulating GPS and satellite communications. All satellite imagery is composited from aerial photos. Live images are really stitched mosaics or digital renders. Rockets go up, but then arc over and drop boosters at sea. Nobody outside the cabal tracks where they really go. Number 5, cultural and ideological leverage. The space race narrative ties space exploration to patriotism, progress, and even religion. We're exploring God's universe. That way, doubting it feels like heresy. Hero astronauts. Their stories are beyond reproach because they're veterans, scientists, or martyrs for science. Deep surveillance. Anyone who comes too close to discovering the truth is bought off, discredited, or quietly removed. Whistleblowers are labeled as frauds. 6. Seeding fake proofs, fake astronomy. Telescopes for the public show what they're programmed to show. Consumer telescopes have filters or data overlays. Horizon and curvature. Atmospheric effects are taught as curvature. Long-distance photos are censored or edited online. Space agency collusion. Only a handful of big players have launch capabilities. Smaller countries rent their launches from the bigger ones, never independently verifying. 7. Plausible whistleblower containment. Only a few hundred people worldwide truly know. Everyone else thinks they're upholding noble secrecy, national security, avoiding panic, economic and academic capture. Careers, grants, and patents depend on towing the line. Dissent means exile from academia or loss of livelihood. If leaks occur, mainstream media spins them as hoaxes or sci-fi stunts. Social media algorithms bury the posts. 8. Why it sticks generationally. Textbook replacement cycle. Every generation grows up with settled science. Control of navigation and mapping. GPS and global shipping maps are standardized. Nobody can personally verify the true layout at scale. fake amateur astronomy networks, even independent observatories are seeded with false data from centralized servers masquerading as star catalogs. This combination makes it possible in a story for a few major power players to maintain the illusion over decades. It's basically control the edges, control the data, control the story, ridicule dissent.
Landing never happened. It was on the stage of Paramount Studios. It was an attempt by the American industrial complex in connection to the Pentagon and NASA to an attempt to bypass God in order to set themselves as the powers of the universe. So, talking about America, okay?
I think the sun is small and within our dome. I think it's less than 40 miles wide. I think it's a localized and near sun. Check this out. These are called crepuscular rays. See how they come down at an angle?
Yo, this feels like a movie.
Upon a hill across the blue lake, that's where I had my first heartbreak. I still remember.
So let's talk about NASA. I made a video earlier about flat Earth, and NASA ties right in with this. So let's look at the logo. Notice that there's a serpentine going through the middle of the logo. I mean, if that isn't telling that they're deceiving us, the serpent. And a question, if Buzz Aldrin was the first person to step onto the moon, who took this picture? And how did they call from space a landline in America? They try to pass this off as high technology. I mean, come on. Tell me why Buzz Aldrin has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And all the astronauts, Armstrong, Aldrich, Collins. I mean, why? Aren't they? Because they're actors. Why does Donald Trump have a star on the Walk of Fame? You may say, well, he was in that reality show, so that's why he's an actor. But what about Barack Obama? He was never an actor. Come on, guys. It's called central casting. Central casting. Established 1925. Get paid to work as an extra in film and TV. This is the building that they use to coordinate all of their actors for the world stage. Werner von Braun, he was a director of NASA. Look on his tombstone, Psalms 19:1. Psalms 19:1, and the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. He's even telling you right there, there is a firmament over the earth. They have fooled us. Here is a flat earth model, and here is a UN logo. Notice the flat earth model with the ice wall around it. And you might say, why the deception? Why was the devil so intent on making us believe that the world is spinning in this vast galaxy and there's all these different planets? And because he was setting the stage for this time right now, the great deception, that there are life outside of this universe, and they are coming here, and they are higher beings than us, the Anunnaki, the whatever you want to call them, that they are for us, that they're not really the fallen angels that the Bible talks about in Genesis 6, another thing that the church failed to really expose to us. This is why it's all coming full circle, is because in the end, we will the ones that are not lovers of the truth, 2 Thessalonians talks about this. If you are not a lover of the truth, and this is why I'm bringing these truths to the social media platform, is because God himself promises to give those that do not love truth over to the great delusion. And I do believe that this is really the great delusion. The fact that these beings are going to come here in the mothership and try to sell this, that they're here for us, and worship us, and we're your gods. And there's so many people that are going to fall for it because they believe everything they've been taught in church and in school. It starts in school. You take your kids to school to learn And guess what they're taught in the beast system? They're taught that the world is a globe, that's how we learn it, and that we landed on the moon, and that there's all these galaxies and planets. Who made a planet model and all the galaxy model? I mean, we learn lies and deception as children because it's easier to fool children and to indoctrinate them young before they start reading the word for themselves. Then you go to church and guess what they teach? The same thing. The last church I went to, which I obviously don't go to church anymore. The last church I went to, the man stood up there and literally was fighting with his associate pastor because the associate pastor believed in a flat earth. And he said, it is absolutely round and spinning. I'm telling you, the deception goes so deep. And you have to wonder, are these pastors in on it? Because do they really know? Are they really working for the devil? Or are they just so blinded by the lies of seminary? Because seminary is where the devil teaches the men that come and tell us how to interpret the Bible. That's where the devil goes, because he knows the word says to study to show yourself approved, not go and listen to a man over the word of God. I just wanted to make this video to make it known that the full circle of all of this, that there is a reason why the devil, it wasn't just contrary to the word of God, which obviously it is, the reason why he was setting the stage for such a time as this, for the end days deception, that when all of you see all these spaceships and all these things start coming to light, and then all of a sudden they're on TV introducing themselves that they are here, know that those are not what they say they are. They are demons. They are fallen angels. They're fallen angels. So please don't fall for this great deception and get in your word for yourself. Come out of the 501c3 churches where the devil is preparing his people to go and teach perverted scriptures. God bless you, and I love you.
The world is flat, and I don't care what you say.
We live on a plane, not a planet. It's literally in the word, plan it. They plan this. They want you to believe that we're these tiny, minuscule objects on a big spinning rock, swirling through an infinite universe forever. However, we've got the North Star Polaris that's fixed in our sky, and it's been there forever, and it's never moved. And we've got irrefutable proof that there's no curve. That's why I have the beliefs that I have. Until somebody shows me measurable curvature of the earth, I'll stay on this ship. And you know what? There's plenty of people hopping on this ship because they understand the lie. They're hiding a creator above us. I don't know if he's in a lab coat or a gown. He's in something, and he created and wrote the code for all of this. They're hiding free energy, ether, in the sky. It used to be on our periodic table of elements, and they removed it. Nikola Tesla discovered it and was harnessing it for us. If we had free energy, we wouldn't have to work a slave system 9 to 5. However, you guys are born into it. We're all born into it with a social security number. They fingerprint us at birth, take our footprints, give us a number, and then sell that number at auction, and it's used to pay a national debt.
Well, have you heard about it? Have you seen the media? Have you seen the news? What am I talking about? Alien invasion, spacecraft on its way to Earth. Or is it? Well, according to various news sources, a possible alien craft is on its way to Earth. Yes, you heard that correctly. Astronomers say that one of the rarest comets ever observed, the mysterious 3iAtlas, likely isn't alone, and that more mysterious interstellar visitors to our solar system could soon be on its way. Now, Harvard professor Avi Loeb and some of his colleagues have speculated that 3iAtlas, currently classified as an interstellar comet, might actually be a probe or a spacecraft of alien origin. That was reported in Newsweek. And why do they say this? Because this object does not behave like a comet when it comes to trajectory, velocity, etc. And what makes this even more mysterious is that this object totally disappeared for about 17 minutes and 34 seconds. Gone. Radio telescopes heard nothing. Optical rays saw darkness, and even gravitational wave detectors registered no disturbances. Where did this object go? Well, it disappeared for 17 minutes and then reappeared closer to Earth, around 340 million kilometers closer, positioned near Jupiter's orbital path. Well, it seems like this object basically teleported, if you understand what that means. Now, this object is massive. How massive? Well, according to these experts, it weighs about 33 billion tons and has got a diameter of about 5 kilometers. And to even add more fuel to the fire, some of the Russian media outlets are beginning to report about this as well, with some people preparing for an alien invasion, some people stocking up on food. What is going on here? Is it a comet? Is it an alien spacecraft? What is going on? Now, there's a lot of questions around this. And the big question is, do you believe the narrative? Do you believe what is going on? Is it what they say it is, or is it more fear-mongering? Or is it rather some kind of a narrative out of Operation Bluebeam's manifesto? Anyway, whatever it is, let me share a nugget with you, something that I think you should remember in this season and time that we're living in the course of human history. Deception, lies, dishonesty, and corruption spread by media, institutions, and government these days are no longer the operational exception. It is the foundation. And most people who stay uncritical and passive will easily absorb the coming narratives fed to them. Only by staying awake, questioning everything, and pursuing independent study can you break free from manipulation and deception. We need to be awake and we need to be alert. Now, I'm not saying the story is false. I'm just saying that we're living in a season and a time where we're going to see a lot of bizarre reports. And let me add this, seeing should not always be believing. Remember that.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Ideological. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.